In 2014, I and my husband, we got a rude shock. Our son was mildly autistic. That was what the test said. So imagine having your baby boy, and then after a while, he's noticed that he starts to change. So we noticed it, and we ran some tests, and the results were clear. So we started asking ourselves, what can we do? We talked to the doctors, and one of the things they asked us to do was to make sure that we change his diet to gluten-free diets. Like most of Nigerians, we had our child abroad, so we're always importing the food that they recommended. But 6 months down the line, I had to bring out the calculator to check how much I have spent when it comes to importing, plus the dollar rates and everything. And I realized that this was not sustainable. I needed to do something different, or else everything will scatter. And that was how I went into the internet. So I started from my kitchen, went online, started looking for how I could replicate all those meals, all those snacks that we used to buy abroad for him, so that he doesn't feel left out. And I used the internet and replaced, when they say quinoa, I replaced it with acha, just to make sure we get the same feel, because at the end of the day, they're all gluten-free. Some people don't even know that gari is even gluten-free. I didn't know. So I had to start looking and start doing my research. With time, we started seeing the changes in him. He went from being mildly autistic and not audible at all to being one of the best in his class. So I knew that I had something I was doing right. And from then onwards, you know, my husband was like, why don't you take this up and be serious about it and make it as a business? I'm like, see me, I'm trying to lose weight. Who will take someone like me seriously? You know, I'm not your typical weight loss or healthy food brand. So how will I sell something and let them know that I started this thing, not just because of me, but because of my son? But I am very audacious. I took it up, started small, and I saw people had the demand, people asking for this. And I was very creative and innovative. I made tortilla chips with ugu. I made crackers with acha. I was using Nigerian produce and I was creating amazing stuff. And from then onwards, I was still working a 9 to 5, just in case I didn't mention that. I had a 9 to 5 where I was working at oil servicing company. And I had to be at work by 8 o'clock every day. And I still had to bake for my customers. So what do? I would bake all through the night, and then in the morning, I would take it and deliver it to the places. Actually, my driver, who is actually here, who does all the deliveries for us. That time, that's how it all started. And yeah, it was like that until a while I realized that there was a need for me to open up a store. And most of the days I was really drained. Some days I would be baking just so that the banana bread doesn't, you know, burn. I will start dancing in the night. And I'll create content. And when people see me in the morning posting dancing videos, they say, this girl that likes to dance. Not knowing it's out of necessity. Anyways, Nelly started a business that was not supposed to be it. How dare you, Nelly? 6 foot tall, big girl, own a healthy food brand. I did it. I opened Nelly's. And that is how the business started. And along the line, I realized that I also have learned so many business lessons while running my own business. And I wanted to share it with the world. And I was looking for an avenue to do that. On the 10th of December, 2015, I secretly opened my Jabran Chick. I opened up the page and I was hiding because I was not so sure what people wanted to hear from me. But then again, my husband asked me, why are you shy? What is wrong with you? You have done this. People are already buying from you. People love what you do. And I started to start showing my face a little. And then, next one. And then, that is how I started becoming more serious about being online and being on social media. I started doing a lot of collaborations. I started working with a lot of people. I started making sure that my presence is felt. I will be live on Instagram. I will stay live. I will discuss with other business owners. I'm like, what else? So people were like, Nelly, no, you're not supposed to come live without makeup. I'm like, but I'm not, I can't always do this. I can't continuously wear makeup every day in the night. Even if you see me out wearing makeup in the night, you ask yourself, hello, what are you doing by this time of the night wearing makeup? It doesn't make sense. I wanted to be me. And with time, I just shut off the noise and just focused on doing what I know how to do best, which is just being me, being authentically me. And that was how I started. Nelly's Nigeria, into ND Praise Limited, Niger Brand Chick, doing so well. And something happened. In 2017, after a very huge fair, which was very successful, by the way, for Nelly's, I got a real shock. NAFDAC came to my store because who does what I do? Nobody. I dare say at that time, I had no competition. I was really at the top of my game. And NAFDAC came, and I was on my way to Abeokuta with my son when I got a call. And they told me my staff told me to start coming back, that they were already in the store. They shut me down. They said I need to give them my source. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. But before I know what was happening, they shut down my business. I went to their office. I never came out. I stayed in the cell for 48 hours. They locked me up until I give them how I make my stuff. They said coconut oil is usually brown. You know that's how coconut oil used to be. Now, why is mine white? That I have put a chemical to make it change the color. And I look at them, I'm like, what is Ugu chips? Why is the Ugu chips green? I'm like, because it's Ugu chips. But, they didn't want to listen to me. I got locked up. My children were in the crèche. It was a very horrible period for me and my husband. He had to do all the school runs, pick them up, drop them, come back to try to see if he can bring out his wife from the cell. The first day, they refused. They said I had somebody backing me up. I'm like, I'm just an innovative Nigerian. Anyways, I survived it. I moved on. Then they released me after 10 days. I had so much debt at that time because I just moved into my new store at Lekki and I needed money. And I've been teaching on Niger Brand Chick freely on my life and all. And I had money to pay. And I needed 1 million naira, just 1 million naira. At that time, it was huge. It's a lot of money to me, And the person said if I don't give it to him at a certain time, I will pay 1.5 million. It was more like a Shylock. And I said to myself, what can I do? Went to the banks asked for collateral. What do I have? What do I owe? Nothing. And what did I do? I went online. I designed a marketing class for those who want to use social media for their business. And I said it was a pre-order. That means I have not done the course. I just want to test out and see whether I really had an audience. Within 24 hours, I've made 2 million naira. People bought my book, 8,000 naira. I have not made the book. I had not. It was when I saw the money coming. I said, hey, we need to make this book. Because I thought I was People wouldn't buy. I said, pre-order 8,000. If you buy it later, 10,000. 24 hours, I've made the 2 million. I'm like, I've made 2 million. I'm like, so that was when I knew the power of social media. Nobody was going to tell me anything. Paid off my debt, started up work, became more serious to give value because I know that that is the only thing that's going to take me to the next level if I have to remain on this space. And then, that is all the goods. You know, started working with brands, started being online. People noticed me. Even the negotiation power for my products and services from my suppliers became cheaper because I will negotiate. Give me this amount of flour and I will market your brand online. I had to look for every ways to maximize the use of social media. I had to think differently. So while others were thinking, why is she selling so cheap? They don't understand that I was doing the marketing for some brands behind the scenes and they were removing their marketing costs and giving me a discount on my products. So I was really killing it. I am still killing it. Very important to state. So that was just how it was going. Things were, you know, I started NBC Trade Fair because people started saying things like, those who are online don't have the capacity offline. And I wanted to prove them wrong. I wanted to say to people that events are not done right when it comes to trade fairs. They're not done right because the people who organize it weren't putting in the strength to market it. I started in 2018 and I did my first NBC Trade Fair at 10,000 naira because in case nobody comes, I can refund all the vendors just in case. And it was one of the most talked about fair then September. Then we continued. We have done up to 4. COVID happened, so we couldn't continue. Let's talk about the bad. Earlier this year, I was dragged on social media. I was severely dragged. Why? Because I was among those who chose to help people to bring out money, to donate. I was the person who helped people to make sure money was donated to disburse to other people who needed the help. And my focus wasn't on the people who had people that can help them. My focus was on the people who I know will not get the help. You know, someone that is living so far in the mainland, that lady that is pregnant, somebody that just needs the help. So I was focusing on those on the mainland and not on the island. And because of it, we had to do a lot of research, interviewing, just to make sure that we're giving the money to the right person. And this takes time. We raised 23 million naira and we needed to disburse it and also give accounts. So at that time, we were still doing it, but I was not talking about it on social media. So I was dragged that I've eaten the money. I could not even believe what was happening to me. I'm like, I cannot do that. But who do you try to explain that to? You can't explain with your mouth. You have to bring in the documents. And that is one of the things that have so well done to keep documents. I brought it out. Some people that came again and said, that I don't teach well. Yeah, they said it. I don't teach well. That I had a class where, so my first premium product was done this year. And it was done because I wanted to see how to understand the market from the premium side and also from the low ticket side. And I created my first premium course. And we had not even started. This was our first. And you know, when I say that I'm on top of my game, no other coach has ever done what I've done. You know, having people pay you premium ticket of $330 and you have over 470 people who paid, do the math. So people were, how dare you? Why is it that anything you touch, it turns to gold? How dare you? I sat down, I was just looking because I don't even know what to say. And it was a face. It happened. And even me, I felt like, oh, wow, was this going to be the end of my life, my business? But no, that was actually the starting point. Because now, I have worked with more brands than I have worked with ever in my life. I have people calling me to become brand ambassadors for them. They are begging me, Nelly, just mention me. I had a class recently where I was teaching people how to use your phone to edit. And over 6,000 people have paid for it at 3,225 naira in just 2 weeks. I know how to crush numbers online. I know how to be audacious on Instagram, on social media. And because I am a force, I want to use this force to make sure I help other people to be better online using social media to remove poverty. Because with just this tool called social media, a lot of young boys, young girls will actually have food on their table. My name is Nelly Agbogu. I am #1 of Instagram, Niger Brand Chick. Thank you.